So you have a message you believe is for the whole world. But how? How do you share that across thousands of different cultures without, messing it up? Or worse, actually causing harm? That's the huge challenge of global ministry. And today, we're going to dive into how to do it right, effectively, and ethically. Let's get started. I love this quote from Rick Warren. It just completely flips the script on how we usually measure success in a church, right? It's not about how many people you can pack into the pews. It's about your sending capacity. It's about getting people out of those seats and into the world. That's a huge shift in how you think about it. And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, it's one thing to have this big, exciting vision for global outreach, but actually doing it in a way that helps and doesn't accidentally harm is a whole other ballgame. So how do you do it right? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down. Okay, so first things first, where does this whole idea of going and sending even come from? To really get it, we have to go back to the very beginning, to the foundational why. And that brings us to a really big theological idea, the mission of God. So the fancy theological term is missio Dei. That's Latin for mission of God. And this is a total game changer. Because what it means is that mission, it's not our project. It's not some clever human strategy we cooked up. It's God's thing. It's his mission to redeem and restore the world. And the church, we just get invited to participate. It's a huge honor, really. And that invitation to jump in, it's spelled out crystal clear in what's known as the Great Commission. This is a direct command from Jesus himself to make disciples of all nations. And that's key, all nations. It just blows past any ethnic or cultural boundaries we might put up. And this is what it's all pointing to. This is the ultimate vision. It's not about making everyone the same, some kind of cultural steamroller. No way. It's a beautiful, vibrant picture of unified diversity. Every single tribe, every single language, all worshiping together. That powerful image, that's what fuels this whole thing. Okay, so if the vision is that beautiful and clear, why is it so incredibly hard to do in the real world? Well, that brings us right to our next big topic, the culture challenge. And here's what's so wild. The biggest barrier we face today, it isn't distance. It's not geography. I mean, you can get on a plane and be almost anywhere on the planet in a day. The real challenge, the biggest gap we have to cross, is the one right between our own ears. And this mental barrier actually has a name. It's called ethnocentrism. Basically, it's our human default setting. You know, the one that makes us think our way of doing things is the normal or right way, and then we judge everybody else based on that. In cross-cultural ministry, this isn't just a small issue. It is an absolute mission killer. And the damage this causes is so real. We're talking about simple miscommunications that blow up into broken relationships and shattered trust. But even worse, it can create this crippling cycle of dependency where we end up hurting the very communities we went there to help. It can be devastating. So you might be thinking, wow, that sounds impossible. But it's not. The key is to completely shift our approach. We have to learn, as this next section is called, to play in a new key. This is such a great way to think about it. Imagine the gospel message is this beautiful, timeless melody. Now, if you take that melody and try to play it on, say, an instrument tuned to a totally different musical scale, without changing any of the notes, it's going to sound awful, jarring, just wrong. The goal is never to change the melody itself. The goal is to adapt the individual notes so that the original, beautiful melody can be heard clearly in that new musical context. And this whole process has a name. It's called contextualization. Now, let's be super clear about something. This is not about compromising the truth. Not at all. It's about communicating that truth with absolute clarity in a way that makes sense and truly resonates inside a different cultural framework. But, and this is a big but, there is a very fine line to walk here. It's the line between good contextualization and something dangerous called syncretism. So let's look at this. Contextualization is just adapting the key so the original melody can be heard. Syncretism, on the other hand, actually changes the melody. It starts mixing biblical truth with other local beliefs until the original message is totally distorted and unrecognizable. See the difference? One preserves truth, the other pollutes it. It's a crucial distinction. Okay, so theory's great, but how do we actually do this well? Like, what does this look like on the ground in real life? Well, it all boils down to one central idea: building a ministry that empowers people instead of controlling them. And really, it comes down to three core strategies. Number one, always prioritize relationship before program. You have to build genuine trust first before you try to start anything. Number two, empower local leaders. Your job is to equip and come alongside them, not to take over. And number three, you've got to use what we call second-order thinking. That means you're not just looking at the immediate results, but asking, what are the long-term consequences of what we're doing? At the end of the day, it's all about making this one critical shift in your mindset, from dependency to empowerment. Look at the difference. The dependency model, it's all about outside money, outside resources, outside leaders. And you know what happens? The second the outsiders leave, the whole thing falls apart. But the empowerment model, that's about fostering local sustainability. It's about equipping local leaders to build a church that's not just going to survive, but thrive and multiply on its own, long after you're gone. That's the real goal. Okay, I know this can all sound really big, maybe even a little overwhelming, like something only super missionaries do. But the truth is, every single one of us has a part to play in this global mission, and you can start right where you are. So what does that look like for you? Well, it could be as simple as praying, really praying, for a specific people group. Or how about this, practicing cultural humility right in your own town. Just making a choice to listen more than you speak when you meet someone different. You could support or even volunteer with a local ministry that's already doing cross-cultural work. Or hey, just start by reading a book or watching a documentary to learn about a culture that's totally different from yours. It's all part of it. And that brings us full circle, right back to that music analogy we talked about. If the mission of God is this incredible global symphony that's being written, a song with parts for every culture and every people, then the question we're left with is a deeply personal one. In this grand, beautiful global song, what note are you meant to play?